Uh, I I forgot to turn the music on again. Professional streamer over here. That's great. Lovely. All right, cool. We're already late, so might as well just start here. Welcome. Part 18, Yakograd Republic. Great, great. Now we have just, 5 minutes of dead air right at the beginning of this VOD. That's lovely. Lovely. Great. Hi, VOD viewers. Leave, like, I'm not usually one to do this, but leave a comment down there telling me how professional I am. Speaking of professional, I'll probably read it when I'm on the crapper in the morning. That's my check YouTube comments time. On the crapper. In the morning. So, leave a comment. I'm probably right now if you're watching this in the morning. I'm just saying. If we're gonna do the YouTube comments thing, at least it's gonna be funny. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Alright, anyway. No, you don't even hit the bell. I don't care about the bell. Screw the bell. You want to come see new VODs, just you know where to look. I'm not gonna insult your intelligence by saying hit the bell! Ah! Anyway. Rip to the last pilot of the Battle of Britain. Yeah. Hey, he's 105. He got up there. Pretty good, man. When are they supposed to be heading back from the ISS? They left last night, Kill. And, we're going to play workers basically until NASA coverage starts. NASA coverage will be starting pretty much right around the time we do space news normally. So, probably about 4 or 5 hours. And then Butch and Sonny will finally be home after 8 months of their 7-day mission. Hey, they're not stranded. I'm just not gonna not make a joke about it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Flippers, hey, Future. Hope Future EJ. I hope you're having a good poops reading this. You forgot the music at the start, sir. Thank you. Do you know what the exact issue is of the boat? Exact issue was with the Boeing craft? Yes. Yeah, I do. Lazy. That's what it was. Is lazy. They didn't. So their thermal analysis was inconclusive when it came to thruster pulse width modulation. If you really want to know. Yeah, they did not use the right pulse width modulation to ensure that they weren't that the passive cooling system on their thrusters were successfully jettisoning the heat at the rate that they were introducing it. Long story short, the thrusters overheated. Yep, their thrusters overheated. They did not do good thermal analysis. They did not. And it's really annoying because these thrusters, the thrusters that Starliner uses are the same reaction control systems, albeit in a different shape, like physically a different shape. Same thrusters, same block, same controller, same everything as the Space Shuttle, which has 30 years of flight heritage. And somebody somewhere decided we're not going to look at that at all. Because the shuttle had this same problem, Killa, which is really, this makes this like even more annoying. The shuttle had the exact same issue. Shuttle overheated thrusters because they basically fired them too much. You see, RCS reaction control systems aren't like a rocket engine that constantly fires. Think of it like a light bulb and a light switch, right? Or actually, a better way would be a strobe light. Like they pulse. They pulse the thrusters. You never keep them on for long periods of time. If you do, they overheat. They don't have a cooling system. right? They don't have like a regenerative cooling system. Reaction control system thrusters are made out of the same kind of stuff that they make like second stage nozzles out of, i.e. they use blackbody radiation to cool themselves, so they glow. When they glow, they're actually cooling themselves, like the second stage engine on Rocket Lab or on SpaceX on the Merlin 1D engine. Same idea. That is a passive cooling system. You can only introduce so much heat into that before it will overheat. And if the engine can't shed the heat's got to go somewhere. So what happens is, well, you're not convecting it. Your radiation system is already oversaturated, right? So you're going to conduct heat into the rest of the plumbing. And that heating started breaking parts of their thruster blocks. Started breaking parts of their thruster, specifically a poppet seal on their NTO injector, nitrogen tetroxide injector. It basically overheated it, and it started breaking things. So that's why Butch and Sonny stayed up there, because they weren't 100% sure, right? They weren't 100% sure. I just deleted an old road. They weren't 100% sure if the thrusters would just completely obliterate themselves on undocking. What I had a theory that Starliner would probably have come back down just fine. But probably would have come back down just fine doesn't work when you have two very, very, two souls on board and two very, very highly respected astronauts. You don't want to do something like that, right? You don't want to play games like that. So that's why that's why they're coming down on Dragon. That was the whole rationale for that. What do you think the future of Starliner is? Well, hey, Methane Subcooler, what's going on? Well, the funny thing is, Jim, is Mark Nappy, basically the guy that was running the Starliner program, he retired. He retired early. Wouldn't read too much into that. He retired early. So, I have no idea. Boeing is still on the hook for 5 more missions to the ISS, with 4 crew on board each mission. I don't know. If I had to guess, Boeing is probably going to stick through Starliner. If I had to guess, I really think they will. If you want my honest opinion, I think they'll be fine. I know that sounds strange. Like, what, are you out of your mind, dude? Yeah, no, not really. Not since this morning. I think they'll stick through because Boeing is anticipating a much bigger, wider space market to open up with commercial space stations. That and Kelly Ortberg is not an idiot. Let me put it that way. The new guy that they got running Boeing, I actually kind of like. Do you know why? Here. Okay, so a couple of things here. Take a look. The guy by the name of Kelly Ortberg is running that company. Okay, he's the CEO of company. He was previously the CEO of Rockwell. Okay, Rockwell Collins. That is a spin-off of the company that made the space shuttle. Yeah. Okay. It's a spin-off of Rockwell International, right? Okay. All right. Right here in the first section, first paragraph. Born to Carol M. and Robert M. Ortberg in April of 1960, he's a native of Dubuque, Iowa, and graduate. Sorry, Iowans, if I'm not saying that right. My bad, Rose. You guys are all right. Everybody thinks corn is from Iowa. No, it's pork, if you really want to know. I was cool. He graduated with a bachelor's degree. Oh, wait. This part right here. Right here. Wait for it. That part. See that part right there? See this part? That part is why I think he'll do a good job. See this one right here? That part is important. You need that for running an engineering firm, like an organization that does engineering. You need that. That's kind of important. See that? See that right there? Yeah. That's the first guy in a long time running Boeing with an actual engineering degree. That and he fired the head of BCS right when he got in, which I think is hilarious. Good. Fix things, man, please. For the love of God. Oh, yeah. It'll be hard for anybody to repeat Sonny Williams' record, flying shuttle, Soyuz, Starliner, and Dragon. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, comparatively to the guy that... Yeah. The guy that came before him, who is not an engineer. Yeah, and then the guy that came before him is also not an engineer, if I'm remembering right. I'm gonna go look now just to make sure I don't eat my words. So Dave Calhoun was the guy that came before him. He's from Allentown. 3 captains. Yeah, Virginia Tech graduate with a degree in accounting. Okay. Okay. What about Muhlenberg? Muhlenberg was the guy before him. He was an engineer. But he also spearheaded the MAX program, which, you know, that's not great. I don't know. Whatever. Let's play workers. So, I think that Kelly Ortberg's going to do a good job. I think he knows the poop sandwich that he's been handled, and he'll fix it. Anyway, let's play workers. So, what we were doing... They're wearing SpaceX IVA suits, methane subcooler. One suit was up there as a spare for Butch, and the other suit for Sonny is up there, went up there on the Crew 9 capsule. Hat change? What? No. What are you talking about? Anyway, let's play some workers. So, we started building out the population, our first population center. I think, that's for all of the industry jobs right there. I left a little note. Someone who's definitely not a beaver. You should invest in the wood industry. Yeah. Your PNW is showing O-Force. So we started building out the population center, and what do these flats hold again? Each one of those flats holds 110 workers. So we have 880 here and 880 here. Each one of these kind of pie cuts here has the kindergarten, a school, basketball court, and I'm thinking putting this... Oh yeah, that's the last thing I did. Shopping center, bus station. Right? Cubion, so 1,600 was the amount of labor, including 3 shifts. I rounded it up to what we're really looking for is about 2,000. I need about 2,000 people. Yeah, I need about 2,000 to get this done right. I unpaused the game. Huh. I heard the truck going. I'm like, wait, no, that's not Starbase Live. So, those shopping centers need a cold storage. Both of the shopping centers actually have about a ton. No, sneaky. The problem is I don't think I have any room for it. We'll see. Let's take a look. See if we... I think that's basically where we left off anyway. So, let's go into cargo. Go into meat storage. We could probably get away with it here, but that means I'd need to get rid of my crappy... Ugh! Where was I? I mean, that's one. It's our crappy... Ugh! Yeah. That's right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Forgive me. I will face the kitchen now because, you know, me. Okay. How soon until we start loan maxing? You know what, dude? Ironically, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. I want to try to engineer this in a way where we don't have to worry about it. But we might have to worry about it. Like, I think you can do it. Okay, so here's my thing. Here's what I mean. Like, I don't think we're gonna need to take a loan. I'm not planning to do it. The only way I would take a loan, I learned from this. The only way I would take a loan is if I wanted to get something done quicker and I was absolutely sure I could repay it. I know in Bakalakadakistan we took it as a hedge against inflation, which was actually not a bad idea. I'm just really not 100% sure if we want to do that here. Because, okay, so like if I take $1 million loan, right? I don't even have the ability to spend $1 million in a month, let alone in 5 months, right? Or even a year. Like I don't have the construction abilities I don't have the ability to spend that much money that quickly, right? So that means most of that loan we're just going to pay right back with interest. So we're going to lose money, you know? I think there is a way to do it. I think loans are a crutch for people that don't know how to early game workers. To be honest with you, myself included. I am not below this or above it, excuse me. I think what we really need to do is like I have a big scope, obviously, and we're building in small scalability into this project, right? Like we can zone this block and get this block done, and then this block, and then this block, and then this block, and we gradually expand, right? More like a gamble. Yeah. I basically don't want to do it unless I have to. And, well, no, that's not even right. I don't want to do it. Yeah. I want to try and not use them. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Anyway. So, we have outdoor sporting here. There's outdoor sports, and everybody can get to that thing. And now I need one more sporting venue over here, outdoors, on the outside here. What did I put over there? A basketball court? Yeah. We're going to need one more sporting venue over here. That won't fit, huh? Alright, fine. Put another football field there. I don't care. Whatever. We have 2 soccer fields, comrade. Alright. That's good enough sports for there. And I'm going to leave some room here and here because I'm not exactly sure what I want there. Now, you can't use these in the wintertime. So we need an indoor sporting venue somewhere, and also we need culture. So we got to get that done. I put a bunch of in here. See that? The is everywhere. An ice rink? I don't know if you can actually make an ice rink in this game. You can make the stadium. That would actually be sick. I'll probably save the stadium for the next expansion over there. That'd be sick. Alright, so... Sports hall. Daylight savings is already active in the United States, yes. So yeah, if you're in Europe, this seems to be an hour early. It's not. Well, for me, it's not, I guess. Kind of a weird way of saying that, but... Yeah, JP, this is still the one that I've been working on. I just started actually building part of the city. I'll explain to you go next week. Well, enjoy, Whoa. Cool. Natural History Museum. Look at this mother. Cool. Oh, we're building that. We're building that later. On, like, the main avenue of the city. We're building that. I will certainly not enjoy. Oh, okay. Alright, so we need culture and we need a sporting hall. So let's... Sports hall there. Movie theater there. Ooh, amphitheaters. Now, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Does the movie theater need a... I don't think it needs a road. Pretty sure it doesn't, but maybe we should. To construct it? Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to rotate that sports hall. Get rotated sports hall. That's pretty dang accessible from almost everybody. I think with paved paths, it will be accessible over there as well. Hope. Actually, what we could do here is put... We could put more overpasses here, and that would give them a more direct throughput. And then... Yeah, I know it's a lot of footpaths. I get it. Oh, score. Now, what about you? They can get all the way to the other side of the bridge with dirt footpaths. That should be enough to get to the sports hall. I'll do the same on the other side. There we go. Bus stops can also be used to extend the range. Well, King, my initial thing here is that I want to engineer this out to make sure that all the, like, bare necessities are within walking distance on dirt paths. That's the whole idea behind this design. Every building can get to the school and the kindergarten and the bus station and the shop, for instance. Except there. They can't get to the supermarket. What the hell? Yeah, see? Every one of them can get to the supermarket with that thing that I just added. What about over here? Am I missing something? Oh, that's only the 4. Yeah. That one actually is better. You can get all 5. Where are the parking lots going? See, Dragon, I have no idea. I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't know. 2,000 workers, right? We're going to have a bare minimum of 2,000 workers. I mean, granted, maybe not every one of those is going to have a car, but the garages can hold 32 cars. That means we need 62 garages. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I'll be honest. I would actually need to, like, take this entire space and make it parking lot. I don't think I want to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do that at all. Well, we got buses initially, and I'm not sure about trams, guys. I don't know. Mayor Yak says no cars. Could you mirror the theater so you don't need the center roads? Andrew, I could. I mean, yeah, I could. I just don't, like, what's the point? I mean, that gives us kind of an open space in the center, which is kind of cool, I suppose. Don't forget about water and drainage. Oh, I'm not. Hate it when it does that. Probably put a tram station right there. Soon your republic will look as complicated as Charlie's. Who's Charlie? I don't know who that is. Whoa! Dang, dude. Guy's been busy. That's impressive. That's what I'm trying to do. Actually, what I wanted to do, Sea Kraken, so there are a lot of viewers from the former Eastern Bloc and, you know, a lot of post-Soviet states that watch the stream. And they were telling me something very interesting, and that kind of is denoting my entire art style here. Like what I'm trying to do. There's like parts of the city that were built first, and then they expanded, and then they expanded, and then they expanded, right? It's not like let's say Pripyat, for instance, like in the Ukraine, where they built the entire city to support the nuclear power plant. I always keep using Pripyat because it's an undisturbed planned city. It looks exactly like it did in 1986. Like, they built this entire city right here. See if I can get... Yeah, there we go. That's a better shot of it. I mean, too bad there's some clouds. So they built this entire planned city here. Flats, everything. With all the stuff that they needed to support a 4-core nuclear power plant. That's it. I guess 3D buildings makes it work. 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Anyway, so there's the hotel and stuff. They built this whole thing like basically all at once. This city they first started constructing it in the 70s, in 1970, and it was basically good by the mid to late 70s. They built the whole damn thing in one shot. Now, let's go to Košice, which is just a little ways away. In Slovakia, this is where the developers are from. So all the buildings and workers are basically buildings in this city, which is kind of cool. So, check this out, dude. Like, all right, it's pretty obvious that somebody was really, really digging these Y-shaped flats right here, and they built all this at once, right? But then you go down, like, if you go a little ways in a different direction, you don't have any Y-shaped flats. They're different. They built different styles of flats at different times. You can see when the expansion happened by certain styles of architecture. You know, the older the flat is, just like in workers, right? The older the flat, the kind of, I'll say less brutal the architecture is. Like, see these flat, look at that one. That one has an angled roof. That's a much older flat, right? E-motorcycle. Those buildings are pre-Soviet right there. Oh, there's the amphitheater. That's in the game. That piece is in the game, which is kind of cool. It's a trolley station. Less brutal. That's pretty much the right way to say it, I guess. Like, you can see that the firm that engineered this didn't like those Y-shaped buildings. They just built a bunch of flats at a bunch of different angles on the hillside, etc., etc. Right? That's basically what I'm trying to do. So, like, this part of the city is going to be all the flats that we had available in 1960. And then when we research and unlock better flats, right, I'll use the better flats in better segments of the city. Now, maybe we decide that we want to demolish one of these and build a bigger flat, right? Maybe the building's old, so we can get a better quality flat, right? So we build a bigger one. You know what I mean? And Like, I basically want to vary it up, but still kind of show that certain areas that were designed all at once. If that makes any sense at all. Like, you could tell that these flats weren't made at the same time as those flats. It's an entirely different architecture. Well, actually, that one is probably made at the same time as that one. Then they expanded, and then they built that. Right, these ones with the balconies. See what I'm saying? How does the money work in the game? When you unpause, are you going to go broke? No, I don't really have any expenses except gasoline for the bulldozers that I've been using to modify all the terrain. Which is why we see a little bit of cost there. That's the fuel that I'm using to move the terrain. You need a bulldozer, and that it costs fuel to move it. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to do, dudes. Like, yeah, maybe down the road, right? You know, this flat, no, we need to expand, right? But we don't really have any space, so maybe we build 2 flats there instead. But keep, you know, kind of keep it in theme, so to speak. Like, maybe they modified it, and maybe they made 1, 2, 3, and 4 bigger flats for more people, right? Because that's kind of what happens. So you get styles, but it's also mixed. That's what I'm trying to say. It's hard to explain, but yeah, there are different parts of the city that were built at different times. And the older parts of the city, you're going to get a variation of modern, of 20th century buildings and 19th century buildings. You know what I'm saying? So how we do this, we use all the buildings that we have at the time, right? All the buildings that we have right now, and then maybe we replace 1 or 2 down the road. Maybe we try to make, I don't know if we can make the Y-shaped flats, but that actually is a pretty cool idea. Like, I want to get a nice variation going, but still make it very deliberate that certain parts were built at certain times. Dude, what were they thinking here? These, like, what was the rationale behind this? Probably walkability, if I had to guess, but there's the school. That's the exact model for the school in the game, which is pretty funny. How much have we built so far? We've built pretty much nothing. This is what I have planned. I definitely think we nailed the vibe, dudes. That looks very Soviet. Yeah, very. I've been trying to build it in a Eastern Bloc style to make it look cool. Like, I'm figuring that into my planning and whatnot, but we're not done yet. Very nice, except for the massive highway capacity. Yeah, I built that in because we're gonna need it. The reality of the situation, J-Speed, is that a lot of Eastern Bloc countries were retrofitted with highways, just like the United States. Just like a lot of our cities were retrofitted with highways. So you usually see highways on the outskirts of the city being made. See? Look at that nice highway. Still being built in this picture, at least. Oh, look at that. They're starting to build that's a beltway. Ah, nice. And look, on the outskirts of the city, you have shopping malls. That's weird, dude. You know, you go here, it's very 19th century Europe, right? And then if you go out a little ways, you see 20th century Soviet, right? And then you go out even further, there's freaking shopping malls. And cloverleaf highway interchanges. That's pretty, see, that's interesting, dude. You could peel back the layers with almost any city in the Eastern Bloc. That's pretty cool, dude. I think that's neat. Very interesting. Like, you can absolutely tell that they built these guys up here at very different times. All these, we'll call them slithering apartment blocks. Right? See those that kind of go with the contours of the hill? They definitely built those at a different time than they built these Y-shaped things. But I want our city to look like this. And eventually, I would... Every time I've tried to do this, it ends very poorly, but... I would want, like, residential sectors and stuff. I think that would look cool. Like, you have the different parts. Kind of go from there. Is it weird? Or are we just weird? No, it's weird. And there's a cookie cutter suburb to the left over there. Dude, it's... That's weird, man. Guys, okay. You can call me a piece of crap for this, and I'll probably deserve it. It's weird seeing suburbs, like block-style housing in places that aren't the UK and the US. That's very peculiar to me. I know that houses exist in other parts of Europe and other parts of the world. I know. It's just weird seeing, like, American-style suburbs there. That's very bizarre to me. Yeah, Animal. Dude, Animal, that actually reminds me here. The parts of the Netherlands that they're backfilling, right? You see, like, American-style suburbs, and it's, dude, like, some of them are even, like, single-family home style, which, like, if you go far enough out, right, you get into some single-family home stuff, and it's very, very strange. Man, that's my country. Nice. Like, look. What the hell? What are you guys doing? You're not supposed to do this. That's our job. What are you doing? Stop it. Stop infringing on our territory, man. It looks like Florida. Dude, it looks like Florida. I don't know, JP. I'm not smart enough to know different demographics in the Netherlands, dude. I'll tell you what, though. When I did go there, I did appreciate it. I did very much appreciate how the Netherlands has everything. You have great trams, great subways, great trains, very good highways, great boats, great everything. Like, I'm like, dude, this is the way you do this. This is good. Dude, there's like 20-lane highways going around Amsterdam. Yeah, there's huge highways going around here. Los Angeles would wishes they had a highway this big. Look at this mother. It's a big freaking road with frontage, with industrial frontage. It's very American. I like it. But also, this freaking 20-lane highway with an express lane, traffic lanes, and industrial frontage is going over a 5-track wide tram route. See what I'm talking about? I like that. I like that. That's good. That's good. Good job. But stop infringing on our territory, man. Messed up. But also, nice. That's so you feel at home when you arrive. Yeah. I did take a taxi from Schiphol to Amsterdam, dude. So yeah, I was like, highways? What the hell is this? I was like, oh, I'm gonna take the metro. No. Highways. I'm like, not nice. Good job, lads. Sorry, that little stretch of road was weird. Okay. Cool. Now, what else do we need? They have culture, indoor. We have outdoor, sports, school, grocery store. Oh, this needs a meat storage over here. I don't know how I'm going to fit that over here, but whatever. You know, we'll figure it out. Either way, I appreciate it, man. It's pretty good. We can get away with it right there. Just redo the footpaths a little bit. The grocery stores do need meat storage. Not sure how good that is being directly next to the bus, but whatever. It somehow works really well. Well, Animal, that goes back to what I'm saying, dude. Every single type of system should... If you use every system where it works the best, then you're going to have a very efficient system, right? You use cars where it makes sense. Use trains where it makes sense. Use boats where it makes sense. Use planes where it makes sense. Right? Like, what constitutes sense and not sense? Travel distance, usually. In Russia, the suburbs are presented as premium housing, and they are trying to sound premium, so developers call their project with a local name and some trendy words. So you get names like Podzalpinsk Village or Yakograd Community. Oh. That's hilarious, Vasya. Yakograd Community. So you guys try to do tract mansions. And gated community. That's hilarious to me, dude. I don't know why I find that funny, but... Oh, yeah, Stevery. I mean, this is still duplex housing, but yeah, what are you doing? This is our job. Stop screwing with our territory, bros. Where's your flats? Isn't that what you do? You do your flat thing? Bro. Where's your McDonald's? Stevery, where's the McDonald's? Oh, it's just down the street. Too far. Too far. All right. Fine. Too far. I still think that's... Wait a minute. Explain yourselves, Finland. What's that about? You got Burger King too? Are you gonna start being fat and driving pickup trucks around? Huh? I was just messing. At least I live in a house surrounded by fields. Just a far enough journey in your F-350, my guy. My guy! Okay. Can you build a yellow Ferris wheel? You were saying, Dan? That's in there on purpose. Fun fact, if you research it, RBMK reactors are in there too. A two-core reactor complex. It's an RBMK graphite tip reactor. Yeah, there's a single-core variant and a twin-core variant. Chernobyl had two twin-core variants. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, dude, the game's cool, man. They're like, it's a pretty good nod, dude. You gonna build one this time? Yeah. Maybe. I'm telling you, Dan, that this game was built right. It's a... You know, I'm no pro-Soviet advocate by any means, but, dude, this game's pretty good, dude. Alright, so, we need police and fire. So when can you build rocket labs for the Yakograd space base? The developers are working on it. Well, not working. They said they want to do a space flight DLC where you set up a rocket factory. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Starbase Live. Hold on. Hold on. Starbase Live. Starbase Live. Starbase Live. Back it up. Back it up. Hold on. Back it up. They're still going, man. Nice truck. A lot of good Fords going on here. Good. 1972. Methane gas. Actually, methane liquid, not gas. You see, I can read. Bye-bye. Bro, I love this. It's like watching workers in real life. Alright, anyway. Porta potty's looking good today. Alright, so. The fire station there. Hospital right there. Now, the thing about, like, building a... Whoa. Man, that's big. Actually, that can hold 90 patients. Gas stations. Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea, Andrew. On a scale of 1 to flak tower, how strong will that flame trench be? Flak tower. Maybe 2 flak tower. I mean, Hellfish, the flak tower... You think the flak tower could take an atomic blast? Yeah, probably. It probably could. Yeah, I'd say flak tower. Now... We can place the police station down. But here's the thing. So we have police, fire, and medical, right? And they're all kind of centrally located. But I'm wondering what kind of, like, is that adequate for 2,000 people? I think that hospital is pretty good. This is the kind of hospital I had in Aribi, in one of my older cities, in Baka, right? In Baka, Dakalakistan. That one was, that had 2 Nipro flats in it, which is like 1,500 people. Actually, do we have that unlocked? Oh. You need prefab construction to do that. All right. Okay, so the thing about the police station is that if you have a police station, you need a courthouse. And if you have a courthouse, you need a prison. Flykin, is there something specific you do to bring a town online, or people start moving in the second the housing is built? They'll move in when I tell them to. Flykin, nobody lives here. It's basically a flat plot of land. No one lives in my republic right now. So I have to deliberately bring people in. You pay people to move in. Costs about 10 G's for, I don't know, however many people, right? And I probably wouldn't do that until they have everything they need. So I'll build, to start, we'll probably build 1 flat, the bus platform, the shopping center with the meat storage, right? Basketball court, kindergarten, and school. And then we'll start going from there. Yeah, when I tell them to, dude, yeah. King, you also said I needed more monuments? Huh? Alright. We need to more. What do we have unlocked? Yeah, yeah. How about no? How about a playground? Do the playgrounds actually have good influence? It's +3, 328 feet. The flame is 500. Now, I have crappy Soviet propaganda architecture all over the place. Maybe put 2 eternal flames. There we go. That should help. And we could put a big statue to Captain AIDS over here. You're probably okay with what you have. The important part will not be making them mad and properly scaling loyalty at certain buildings. I like that fountain. Put that fountain there instead. And then put a playground here. There we go. That'll work. The children yearn for the mines. Right. Okay. Cool. Okay, now electrical, or, well, we got to do heating. Well, actually, let me see. We want about 2,000 workers. Where's your Stalinator? I have not built it yet. I was gonna build a sewage treatment processing plant here to basically service this side of the city. Sewage and water are gonna be here, so water would go down here to the center and then sewage would come back. That's my idea. Because there's an underpass right here, so it could go under the highway. Well, the sewage would have to stay level, but you get the idea. The idea, Nader, is that I want a water plant here, a water treatment facility here. So, we want plumbing here and then drainage right next to it. And then over here, basically on the reciprocal side, somewhere around over here, I'll have a similar type of facility because I want the city mirrored. So I want a road that comes over here and then curves like that one does this way. That's all future expansion. I didn't bother planning that because I don't have the flats that I'm going to put in that part of the city unlocked. I just I put down enough for like an initial start. Also, that puts kind of a There's only so much I can design, so eventually, not eventually, we will unpause. Now we just got to figure out, where will the port go? Over here is where I was thinking. I want to have the railroad tracks Y off and go this way. And then what I would really like to do is put a train station right here. A big train station in the middle of the city. And then we could do train station with metro. And then we could put a metro station here. And then a metro station there. Over here, this is deep water. So this is a prime spot for a port. I just don't know exactly how that's going to all... The port goes in the square hole. Breaking news. Elecom just released the first sodium-ion power bank, which should be longer cycle life than lithium. Neat. Put the shipbreaking and recycling plant over near the port. That's actually a good idea, Andrew. Maybe we should design the roads at least over there, and how this is the terrain that's going to make the port. I'm almost thinking put the port infrastructure over on this side. And then maybe like an airport over here, and then the trains could go around the harbor. And then, yeah, see, like an airport over here or whatever. Not a bad idea. Maybe even some factories over there eventually. I don't know, I haven't really thought about that too much. So right here is where I want to do textiles and stuff. But yeah, we should probably do utilities. I'm guessing the gas stations will be on the main road network. Yeah. I'll probably put one right here. Another one probably right here when we get to it. Opposite the city on the other side of the harbor so it doesn't infringe. Yep. Repost, can you show me the technique you use to make symmetrical roundabouts? Yeah, sure, man. So, it's much easier when you're aligned with the grid. So what you do, figure out the radius. Say you want 128 radius, so that's 3 grid spots. Or 4 grid spots. So go there. Make a road that's 2 grid spaces long. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the center. 5, 6, 7, 8. So make 2 roads like that, right? Then connect them. Make sure you do not have grid snap-on when you make this, right? So you make a half circle, right? Now, cut the circle in half, or we'll make a semicircle. Right. And then get rid of those. Get rid of the 2 first roads that you made. And then get rid of the cut. And then, boom. There you go. Done. You want to connect roads on it. Like I said, it's easier to do it on the grids. Because then you can do stuff like, you can connect your roads in on the grid spots. You're aligned with cardinal directions and stuff. That's the easy way to do it. When you're free, tune into NSF Live this evening. We're going to roll out something fun. Rudy, when you're free, tune into NSF Live this evening. We're going to roll out something fun to the pad. Starbase Live? I always got Starbase Live going, dude. I'm watching it all the time. You're gonna roll something fun to the pad. Is it ready? Really? It's done? Thought it would have taken longer. Is it heavy by any chance? Dude. Righteous. It's gonna be awesome, Moody. Thank you for letting me know. And letting us know. Well, I'll keep my eyes on it, dude. It's sick. Yeah, it's thick. But dude, yeah. Last time I saw it, it didn't look like it was, close, but I really, really like it when SpaceX proves me wrong. Yeah, that's my, like, favorite thing, dude. I'll take the L. Oh, no. That bridge isn't lined up. Is Jack's Land Rover rolling to the pad? Oh, yeah. Thank you for showing how to do that. It's been one of my frustrations. No problem. Apparently, they're going to roll 14 for its second flight. Cool. Okay, so, let's start calculating our plumbing. Let's think about this for a second. Let's start looking at the flats. So, in every flat here, you have some options over there. So, max power consumption a day is 13 megawatt hours. Okay. Max wattage, so it's a 220... kilowatt system. It's got 247 gallons in the hot water tank. And the max consumption is 1307 gallons a day. Alright, so specifically what we want is hot water tank. The hot water tank's for heating. Maximum daily water consumption is 1300 gallons a day. So what does one of my water substations do? The water substation does 5,100. Or, well, basically 5,200. Moving and transport stand in front of High Bay 1. Back to Starbase in the near future. That's what I was thinking. Alright, so let's calculate the maximum here. So, 1307, obviously times 4. 5228 between the 4 flats. Woof. Oh. Okay, so each one of these pedals, just to be absolutely sure, is going to need 2 water substations. Okay. New filing net April 7th for flight. Okay. Woof. Can you see last for a question about the booster? Can you see last? Can you see last? I've learned water substations can distribute any amount of water. It all depends on the size of your pipes. Okay. When Crew 9 re-entry? It'll happen during Space News. In fact, I'm probably not going to do Space News today. I'm probably just going to just do splashdown coverage. I thought they were not going to relaunch the boosters that didn't have the bracing at the top. Something to do with the catch fins potentially deforming. How do you know they didn't put those on there? 2 water substations question? That's way overkill if you did the math right. Oh, it's just the water tank. Yeah, okay. That's how much water it has on hand. It's not the pipe size. Okay. I get it, dudes. I get it. So that can do 6,907 gallons per day. Got it. All right. I was reading off the substation, not the pipe. That's my fault. That's my fault. Relax. Relax. So we have a fire station here. That's 211 gallons. All right, let's go all in on this. So 1407 is what the flats do, right? $13.07. So we have $13.07. Actually, let's just clear up the calculator completely. $13.07 times 4. 52.28. All right. Add the fire station. That's 211 at max consumption. So plus 211. Okay. Now we have the big police station. We're still gonna need a courthouse. We need a courthouse, and then I also need a prison. I'll probably put the prison over there. Put the prison in the loop by the border. So that way if prisoners escape, they just cross the border and get the hell out of the country. Believe me, Violent, another person would have corrected me, don't worry. That is what happens, by the way. Yeah, if you have a prison break, they'll go to wherever's closest, from what I can tell. I had a prison break in one of my cities in Bakalakadakistan because all the guards left. And then that city was riddled with crime for a very long time. Oh yeah, we should probably put party headquarters in somewhere. Yeah, right there is fine. Why not make bad guys face wall? Well, I had secret police, but it didn't seem to want to do anything. And I'll probably end up putting the technical university probably right next to it. But anyway, water. So, what's the police station? Police station is 317. So plus 317. 57.56. What about the supermarket? 132. 58. Does the bus station use water? I honestly don't know. We'll figure it out. It does not. The school does, though. So the school is on this tile here. I'll do this stretch right here. That school does 137 a day, so plus 137, 6,000. We're going above 6,000. I don't think the basketball courts use water unless there's like a water fountain or something. Nope. Cool. So this first one, this area uses 6,000. So what kind of water pipe do we need there? 6,900. Actually, the small pipe is pretty good, dudes. I'm just trying to figure out where I want the substations to go. Getting at the kindergarten, it's just this tile, this kind of swath right here. See, Kraken? I'll probably have another water line here. The idea that I'm trying to go for is, obviously I said a second ago that I will redo a building and maybe put a bigger building in. Bigger building with bigger water needs, right? So I want to make sure that these pipes that we put in are basically future-proofed for the time being, at least to an extent. Because apparently, like, you save a ton of money making the small pipe versus the big pipe. The big pipes move 33,000 gallons. One big pipe could support five pedals. So one big water pipe going from a water station over here could support basically this entire area. If I'm, more or less, right? If I'm looking at that correctly. Got spots for trash? I do. Yep, everywhere. They're at the ends of the, they're at the ends of the access roads, Mutter. Like, so you can get at it from cars and trucks and garbage trucks, whatever, can get at it from any angle. Can the police and fire stations reach the trash? They're most likely gonna need their own, dude. While I'm on the subject. Might as well connect all of them. Excellent. Can I ask why you don't want the water station? Can I ask why do you want the water station all the way over there? I don't know, keeps the design clean so I don't have a water station like right in the middle of the damn city. I don't know. Because it looks cool. It'd be very tight, a very, very easy design to put your water and sewage right next to each other. Hinris, you just bought Timberboard. I'm excited to fail miserably. Yeah.
Discovery.
That's the best part. Inza, it's Texas. Yeah, SpaceX is cool with it. If they weren't cool with it, yeah, we wouldn't do it. Builder, what's up, man? 31-month resub. Thank you. It actually might be better to have the water line go here and then go that. Nah, I don't like that. It does not pollute, but it does need people. I could put it right there. I was planning on putting more flats here because this still doesn't reach our 2,000 person mark that we're going to need to get clothing and food working correctly. Run heating on the outside. No, I'm going with what I want. I understand the trade-off of building it far away. I get it, but Violet, I'm sending people this way to get to the food place, so screw it. Why not? The only other thing I'm thinking is that it might be better to have the heating, you know, I said put the heating plants like right here or right here so they have coal being belted to them. But it might be better to just put big aggregate storage right here and then put the heating plant right there. What's the range on that? Oh. Got to be like 6,000 feet away. Anyway. Now I'm thinking about how I want my substations. What I did in the past was build substations that kind of incorporated themselves into the grids here. Like a municipal utility station that had drainage, you know, it had a sewage tank, right? Sewage, water, and then I fenced it off so it looked nice. I don't know if we... I have one big water station in my city on the edge. In a 6,000 population city with only 4 people, that seems to be enough. Also, water towers saves you some pumps. Wait, why did you... I think I'm misunderstanding you. Can I ask why do you want the water station all the way over there? You asked me why I don't want my water station in my city, and then proceeded to tell me that you have one big water station in your city on the edge of the city. So, how is that any different than what I'm doing, Violent? I'm very confused at this point. I don't know what are you talking about? I want it all the way over there because the city is going to grow there, and eventually the edge of the city will be over there. Hey, Starlight, what's going on? How deep should water pipes be? Your water plant is within walking range. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I guess I understand that, Violet. That makes sense. The sewage we don't necessarily need. I just need a retention pond, so putting it out there is okay. Yeah, I could put the water plant right here, or we could put it right here. Right there would be enough space. Do we have good well water there? Yeah, 95. We're good. Do we have good well water on the other side? Same thing. Cool. I was planning on putting a DPW here, so like technical services for the highway, snow plows and whatnot. Clean water for how long, though? What do you mean, Sneaky? Oh, well water is well water. I have to put chemicals through it. I have to put chemicals through the dang thing and refine it anyway, so water quality really doesn't matter too much. For potable water, you need 100% or else people get sick. Would you like some pictures of your city? Yeah, throw them on Imager. Violet, go ahead. I mean, James, you could make your water pipes pretty much at whatever. I can't think of a reason why you'd want it any different, per se, but... Does that hit every building from here over? It does. And how much pipage do we need per pedal? 6,000 and change? Two big water pipes, or two medium water pipes going here and here pretty much seals the deal. And then I could put a split over here. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Does that hit every building over here? It does. Does the grocery store need water? It was out of reach. Yeah. Ah, yes it does. Maybe put one there and then put another one right here. The grocery store doesn't need water? Hey, New Zealand, can't wait for the dragon to come back down. Yep. Alright, well if I sent a water pipe down right to here, so split, so I send one right there and right there, that's good enough. So let's try that. I'm not gonna have like a municipal substation like I did before, but... And it's 6,000 per, like, pedal. So if we put in a medium pipe, that's pretty much... Medium pipe over 2, that's good enough and then some. Alright, so let's do that. Let's put that in. 1. Two. Okay, give me a medium water pipe. And what do we want our medium pipe? What do we want our water pipes to be set What's the set depth for the water pipe? I suppose it doesn't really matter. I was thinking all the water at one level and all the sewage at another, but the sewage needs to be pitched anyway, so that doesn't matter. So I think that's... yeah, it's not a big deal. So here's what we do. Below the frost line. Well, yeah, of course. Now, little tip on water. Switch it. Always switch the water. You never know. Maybe I calculated something wrong. Always just throw a switch in. It doesn't hurt. The switches don't take anything. It's just a little bit of freaking concrete and gravel. That one's much too far forward compared to the other one. Always be switching. Alright, medium pipe. Just in case you wanted to add something. Like, say I wanted the water to keep going and have it end up over here. Now I can tee off the pipe, and we can go that way. Actually, it might even be better to have this be the tee off in general. So I'm wondering, can we get away with a switch being like right here? Yeah. Nope. Doesn't want it. Whatever, we can still tee off. This should be fine. Not should be, it will be. We did the math. And then, yeah, if I really want it to go further, we can make it go further by doing that. That's fine. We can run it at 3 or we can run it at 13. See, I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I'll run it at 10. And I'll put it underneath the road. There. Okay, do the same thing over here. Nope, that's not running at 10. Why not run the pipes under the road, right? Like, that's what they do in real life. Is that not under the road? Why is it? But Did that? Hey. Did I... Am I speaking Japanese or something? Like... Maybe that was just the camera angle or something. There we go. Sweet. Killer. Drop the check tomorrow. Now, I'd assume what you put in, you gotta... Obviously, you gotta have come out, right? I don't know. Is that within range of everything? Yep, the septic tank. We could put it across the street, and it kind of sucks for anybody that lives in this house, or that flat, but, you know, whatever. Kind of sucks for them, but whatever. Not my problem. Man, that house is gonna smell like Yuki. Is that in range of everything? Yep. Did you ever watch the show Danger 5? No, I didn't. I don't know what that is, dude.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Ram. Hey, Raiden. Russia might need 3 meters. 10 feet is, well, basically 3 meters. It's close enough. Alright, sewage, same idea. Always be switching. Time of splashdown. On Yenix, it's 5. Return coverage begins at 4:45. Yeah, I won't take a break today. No breaks. 4:45, deorbit burn 5:11, splashdown 5:57 p.m. Eastern. That's basically 4 hours from now. Yeah, actually 4 hours from right now. And then 7:30 is the media teleconference. We're gonna go to the media teleconference. Yeah. Cool. Go. Or take a break 45 minutes before coverage starts. I could. Alright, so that's water. Quick question. Back in the good old days of space travel, would we lose contact with craft as they went through the atmosphere? How come that doesn't happen these days? Better communications tech. Communications, satellites, Badger do that. NASA's tracking data and relay system. Yeah, so... Hang on. So when a capsule's coming in, you have a layer of plasma. I mean, anything. You have a layer of plasma called a bow shock that you have to deal with. Bow shock, radio frequencies don't go through bow shocks very well. Yeah, but the bow shock, think of the bow shock kind of like a wake. Like if you picture a boat with a wake, right? The plasma shock kind of works like that. So if you have something behind the craft that's coming in, your craft is going this way, you have a tracking satellite behind them, right? Or a Starlink or whatever, right? And you have your capsule antennas pointed that way. While you're going through re-entry, you can get an uninterrupted signal. The shuttle did it with Tidris. Dragon does not do that. There is a momentary blackout because Dragon and Falcon use ground stations. They don't use Starlink. Why don't they use Starlink? Re-engineering the antenna to a spacecraft is a lot of paperwork. That's why Starship is built with it and Falcon 9 is not. So, yeah, it's not better communication. Well, I mean, better communication satellites. Like a Tidris that's coming over the horizon in geostationary will see a capsule like you're seeing behind the wake. So, yeah, that's what happens. That's why we get such good shots with Starlink. For Starship, when we do get through re-entry, the Starlink satellites can see it. Easily, they're easily behind the wake. There's like 50 of them behind the wake at any given moment, which is once again why we get the ResearchGate stuff is cloud faring, dude. Yeah, this is the exact picture I just tried to pull up, but right here. See, if you're behind here, right on the leeward side, you can, and your antennas are over here, you can communicate. Did you count how many people could fit in each residential quarter? Xanax, each one of these flats holds 110 people. So we have 440 here, 440 here. That makes 880. And then we have 880 over here as well. So we get 1720. It's close to the 1600 that I left as a note to myself. We're going to need more. I'm probably going to need to build more flats over here. Yeah, 1760, not 20. Thank you, Pigeon. It was 1,600, 3 ships over the jobs that I want. So the jobs that I want are food, alcohol, and clothing. And the textile industry that I want to get into was taking into account 2 clothing factories and a fabric factory to feed them. And that's all fine and dandy, but now I added, school, kindergarten, shops, police station, fire station, party headquarters, cinema, stuff like that. We've added all this stuff. I figured 2,000 would probably be good, and we're at 1,760, so we're gonna need more. But anyway, we started designing our utilities here, and it is pretty crisp. I do like the design. So, we're going to need a water switch here. So, why don't I put water on one side of the road, over here, right? And then maybe the sewage switch going in the opposite direction, over on the other side. Have fun crossing the pipes. That shouldn't be too big of a problem? Question? I mean, the water is on one side. Yeah, okay. You drive a hard bargain. My main driver for that mutter is the damn footpath. The footpath comes out the backside of the damn water thing. I should have put water on that side and sewage on that side. So this one would be a large water pipe. And it would go... Really? That actually works? Score. Now, could we... Really? That's so strange. I'm almost thinking the way we have this set up, we might... Hold on a second, dudes. I might be able to put them parallel to each other if I'm looking at this right. That would make a much cleaner looking design. Alright. So we need a medium pipe. Okay. What a mess. What a freaking mess. So that needs to be a big water pipe. And then we run them down the center road. Water will be on the outer thing and sewage is on the inner. I'm not really 100% sure what's making that thing work, but, you know. There's got to be a better way to untangle this mess. It's doing the little dips automatically, yeah. Everything is set at 10 and the pipes are going over each other. Yeah, dip the pipes on purpose. I mean, that works. It's kind of dumb, but it works. Alright, so medium water pipe that way, medium sewage pipe that way, then large sewage pipe at 10-foot depth that way, and then large water pipe. Maybe get rid of the sewage. Maybe do the water pipe first. I think I did water pipe first. We might be able to dial that in even more. Hold on. Yeah. There it is. Alright, now big sewage pipe. Ah. Would you look at that? 3-meter horizontal separation between sanitation and water is spec. 450-millimeter vertical separation on crossings. This design looks awesome, by the way. We are... Yeah, Yeah, okay. Is that the right water pipe? It's the big one. Yeah, that's the big water pipe. We're good. The only thing about this, dudes, is that this is just... It's gross. It looks awful. It's nice. Like, it's cool, but... Splash down in 5 minutes, just had your first coffee. But... What? No. It looks like a whale's tail. Yeah, it kind of does. Okay, JSpeed, I hate that design now. And I never want it again. That was cool, but we can do better. I think what I want to do is do it without the road. I don't want that road. I thought maybe putting the road there would make it look nice, but it doesn't. Now, while we're here, do we want to put the water on the other side? You know what? Let's test with that theory. Go slow. Take your time. Now's the time to mess with this. So if I put water on this side, does it still get everywhere? Yes, it does. Okay. Cool. Now we put a septic tank on this side. Like that. Put a switch. I'm basically just untangling my mess. Medium to medium. Our set depth is 10. Good. All right, keep that. Over here, we need a medium pipe. Not at the right length. There. Okay. Are you trying to design a repeatable design or a bespoke solution for this area? It's supposed to be repeatable. Dude, trust me. I trust you. Do you, though? Okay, so first of all, that's not lined up. Second of all, I think I have a better idea to make the throw. We could actually pay for like way less pipe doing something here. Hold on. If we, instead of, I mean, the curved runs look really nice, but a pipe in a straight line is going to be the best solution here. Hey, it helps if you lined it up, idiot. Straight runs are probably better. You need to lay pipe strategically and not at every opportunity. Decided that this road will be my utilities road. I have decided. It's much cleaner if we put the switches in here. So, okay. No more middle lane for the elites. The middle lane is there as a utility road. That's why, that was my original intention. And, well, I don't like the pipeline going underneath the damn kindergarten. Whatever. It's fine. Alright, so now we can put water. If I put straight piece of pipe right here. No. Wait, did I put that at the right depth? Hold on. That needs to be a medium pipe. It needs to be at 10. There we go. Perfect. Now we need a large water line here. That the runs aren't freaking straight. Still not straight. There we go. Nice and symmetrical. Now the reason why I made this one longer is because we got to do this. That pipe's facing the wrong way. Well, it let me do it. This gets me the straightest runs of pipe. I might move the kindergarten over because I hate the idea of that going underneath it. But it might have been placed there for a very good reason. Hold on. Nope, that works. Do it for both of them. Okay. Sweet. Did we hear who's the crew for SpaceX Crew 11? I am fairly confident it's the, isn't it the Crew 11, or the Crew 9 crew, or... Is this a trick question? There we go. One overlap, and that's it. It won't mess up the construction rating, I just don't like it. The idea of what if you need to maintain the pipe? Now, you don't need to maintain the pipes in this game. It's just, that's just one of those, it's not very realistic to run like a water line underneath a building. Unless it's going to said building, right? So, I didn't. Now we gotta go and fix over here. No, they didn't confirm it. That was what I thought with Xena Cardman and Wilson. Posted the link a little bit up. Have a metro line in between the cities that use an underground central railway substation. God, that's what I wanted to do. Picture of 3 of your cities. Let's see. Nice. Helicopters. You went helicopter construction? Interesting. It's coming along. Oh yeah, okay. Gravel. Yep. Coal. Nice. Waste, huh? I know that one. That's the refinery. Jesus, flats are really close together. Looks good, man. Definitely coming along. Are you doing the launch? Oh, there's a Starlink at 4 o'clock. Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll probably just keep... I mean, coverage begins at 4:45 for the docking. Yeah. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, the 18th. Yeah, 3:57. Good number. Slick 40. Cool. Really, Mike? Oh, all right. Okay, let's fix the sewage on this side then. Now over here, we need a water substation. Then I need a water switch. Okay, now we need a medium line at 10, and then a straight line back at 10 to there. Perfect. Now we need medium water at 10. And yeah, it kind of skirts the outside of the school right there, which I'm okay with. All right, now we need water line. We need a straight... Oh, I didn't make this in order. We got to make the water line first. Big, large water pipe. Starting basically with the path right here. That goes 150 feet. Connect that in. Good, that's nice and symmetrical. Now we need a medium sewage line. Set the depth at 10. Here we go. I don't like that. It doesn't look right. It looks very hinky. I mean, I don't know. Should I put another switch? I don't think so. I think this is more than enough. There we go. Is there a Falcon 9 launch today? Yeah, should be one soon. Now, where do we want water? To the homes. Well, yeah. Duh. Helicopter firefighters are more important than helicopter construction. I could put a helipad back here. I don't know if it would be in range. But actually, that would probably be a good idea. We can make helipads, right? Can we not? Oh, yeah. Look at that. I just got to be careful, though, because I put that footpath there so they could get at waste. You need firefighting helicopters to do it. Oh, well, I'll leave that like that for now, and we'll go from there. I forgot you had to research it. Now, where do we want to put water for real, though? Yeah, pins, for the most part. Yeah, it's 3:57, so we got some time. See, do we put it close? Do we put the water facility right there? Wouldn't hurt. Sewage can keep going, and we can build a poop pond over here, and eventually a sewage treatment plant. I don't have anything planned for that area. I left this space. I left these spots open on purpose. And surrounded by roads, you don't need to worry about pollution too much, right? The pipe has to go down anyway because we need to get down to water, so the underpass is well suited for it. What's the height there? 20. Yeah, it has to go down even more than that, so that's not actually that big of a problem. I thought you were making Epcot. Ryan, let's say I'm prototyping, okay? We'll just leave it at that. I'm prototyping. It looks like the Death Star? I guess. Yeah, maybe. The City of Tomorrow in 1960. Yeah, I kind of see it. I see the Death Star. Anyway. So, yeah. Sewage we can put over here. I'm not worried about that. I just want it to be away from where people are. The water plant, though, you need people controlling the purification process. So Violent was kind of right. Making it within walking distance is not the worst idea. I was thinking we could put the textile area here. We put the clothing factories there. You know, if it's not within bus range, it's definitely within walking range. For a good amount of people. Put it right here. It's pretty centrally located to the highway. I wanted technical services here, snowplows and whatnot for the main highway. So that's kind of cordoned off. We put sewage here. Don't have any plans for that. Now, once again, the only thing really left in this design, we got to put electricity in, and then we have enough workers here to cover 2 clothes factories, a fabric factory, the food factory, and the alcohol factory, and then we have 100 left over and change. So we're looking for 1,600. We have 1,760, so we have 160 extra. So I have two of these stores. Maximum amount of workers in the small shopping center, which is what we've made, right? 25 and 25. So 50 is gone out of there. So 50 minus 160. We got 110 workers left. What about the cinema? So we have 105 left. The hospital. 60. So we have 45 left. Fire station. Five. We have 5 left for the police station, which takes 60. And that doesn't even include the sports hall, which takes 15. So we need to build it. We need to build more residential, but we also need water. So there's my conundrum. The wise decision might be to build a couple more sets of flats. 2 sets of flats there, 2 sets of flats there. Would put us at another 440, so we would have 1,760. That would put us at 2,200 workers. That would pretty much be enough for everything. Yeah, okay. But that still doesn't solve the water problem. If I just change the azimuth of that road a little bit, and then this road would be... just a little bit shifted. Like that. That's enough for a huge row of flats right there. I'm only looking for... 2 flats should be good, and then we could put the water plant right next to it, and that should give them enough. We could have a bus that goes from there to there, so the bus that goes basically is down around here, basically goes in circles right there. That'd do it.
Discovery,
hey Perky,
throttle up.
82-month resub, thank you. I still need heat pipes. And then the heating plant. Yeah, we still got to do that. The heating plant might do fine being over here. But once again, that's the coal. How are we gonna get the freaking pole to it? I'd prefer if the heating plant was right next to my, ironically, next to the food factories. It's got the range. Ground distance 4,600. 6,000 is what the heat plant, where the heat plant really starts to lose it. That is a little ways away. But actually, let me measure it this way. So the heat pipe would go this way. We would most likely have a substation there. And then another substation right there. That's 1,600 meters, give or take, guys. That should be enough. Everybody's telling me that about 1,600 is... it's too far. But then again, I could just make the line go underneath the highway and go right here. That's 2,600. Right there is 3,000. That's 1,000 meters away from where I want it. You'll need a switch and it'll cause you to lose heat. Remember that connection from building to a heat exchanger. Also count for distance and heating loss. I know, I am. I understand that. I'm gonna have to put the heating plant over here. Let's measure from the furthest point away of like where I want it. Dude, heating plants are dumb. That's stupid. Everybody should have their own heater, dang it. Guys, honestly, the heating plant's gonna have to be like right here. But the thing is that's so much damn pollution. Each one of those clouds right there is about 300 meters. So this thing needs to be about a kilometer away, which is... 3,300 feet. Could always put it over here. It's gonna need an aggregate storage, though. Like, if I placed it there... That's all fine and dandy, but what happens if I want to send... if we need more heat over there, too? Dude, we're gonna need so many damn heating plants for a city this size. Good idea, Medfu. What about that smaller heating plant? How many kilojoules? 42 gigajoules of heat from that, but there's no belt. There is a belt intake to it. How much energy does it take to heat the stupid flat? Hot water tanks, 247 get. Crap. Thanks, 1,000. The pollution on the small one is much better. Yeah, but that thing produces 42 gigajoules of heat. Yeah, this thing produces 210. That thing takes 2 tons to make 42. This is 8 to make 210. That's actually not bad. But that means, like, I'm gonna need another heating plant, like, right here. For this patch.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Right? This, yeah. Oh, boy. Hey, Element, what's up, dude? Picked this up a couple days ago as a birthday present to yourself. Sea Last was meant to go here. 83 months, thanks, man. Oh, nice guitar. Is that an Ibanez? Nice, dude. Sweet, it's good to see you. Nice. Nice axe, man. Yeah, the pollution is gonna get us, dude. Big power plants. Yeah, a big heating plant. I got it. Problem is that this just isn't near my coal. I don't know what that means, Graham. Must be green. Yeah, I got a bad infestation. Opposite your construction offices? I mean, I could put the heating plants along the highways, dude. That might... We could put one there, Andrew, and then you could put another one right there. I don't hate it. Well, there's no way to belt the coal across the track, man. That's the big problem. Yeah, having a heat plant here, then when we make that square, having one right there, and then when we make the other semicircle, having one right there. Aren't they communists? Don't they also use excess power for... Oh, jeez. Closer to hauling and for future belts. Yeah, dude, that's... If I could just get away for the belt to cross 6 lines, dude. There's no way for it to cross 6 because it wants the supports right in the middle of track number 2 right there. See that? It can do 4, 5 maybe on a good day. Can't do that. Hey, if you use enough coolant loops, you could have your house heated from the nuclear power plant. How about the highway? We can't cross the highway, dude. No. No, I don't want to do that. But, yeah, I wanted to put the clothes factory here, but the clothes factory over there in the early game is probably better. So that would leave us a good spot for the heating plant right here. And that's across the street from hauling. And the clothes, you know... Man, if we could just get a belt across the damn tracks, dude. You got a lot of area on the coast. Okay. Thank you. For what? You ready for splashdown? Of course, Mock. Yeah, man. Oh, that's awesome, Panta. Very nice. You can raise the terrain and tunnel the rail, but that's expensive and time-consuming. We did experiment with putting the belts underneath. Having the belt go underneath. And then building a bunch of bridges. Honestly, I might do that. Place one aggregate storage between the plants. My only thing is, if I went and built those flats, they're going to be awfully close to the heating, to the heater. Alright, let me check something. Let's just experiment with this, okay? An experiment. Alright, so you have your plant, right? We're gonna need big heating pipes, right? So let's just tap off one.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
we need that. We need a pumping station. Hey, Blackness. What's going on? Set the height. It doesn't really matter too much, but... We're gonna need at least 2 heat exchangers, dudes. Straight relaxing. Nice. Wait, there's a spot where we can actually get at everything with that? The spot to get at everything is right where the playground is. I might do that. Jack sent me a link of something. What is this? RAM charger. Nice. You're missing the topper, though. That's why he's got a tarp on it. Did you do the maths for heating as well? No, I have not. I am just testing something. $10,000 in the hot water tank. Hot water tank is 247 gallons per flat, so we have 4 groups of 4, so each one is holding 1,000. So that's 4,000. There's no... And that thing has 10,000? That thing's hot water tank is 10,000. Did I see that right? 10,594 gallons. Yeah, that is easily enough for the entire city. If I can get heat to it. And then this one, you know, will go there, right? Another transfer station, another heat exchanger, and you call it a day, dude. That might do it, guys. That could get us where we want. It's not that far. The reason why I'm so adamant about doing this is because of I want access to coal. This is close to the coal plant. That thing needs coal. So does the power plant, you know? If we set this up right, I can make it so the aggregate storage array can feed both of them. And then once we get coal up and running, we can feed all of that. Underground pipes do have less heat loss. Yes, they do. Here's what I'm thinking. Get rid of that. Go in here like this. Coming from the heat plant, we take a heat exchanger, a big old heat pumping station, right? Put that heat pumping station right there, because that, if I ever saw fit to put one of these style roads here, that's not the right spacing. I should be able to straight line this right out here. Alright. Let's sink it in the ground. "20 feet. Right to the station. No, don't go up and down. Stupid line. There we go. No, why is it doing that? Don't do that. Stop it. It looks like we might have to make it in segments. There we go. Actually, I can make this better. We can make it better by taking this, turning it in the right direction, and setting the depth to 20. Boom. So, why did I do this? Why did I do it on a straight line? Well, and put the heat exchanger here. If we put the exchanger here, I can feed this and this with one heating line. Worst case scenario, just build another one. Build another heat exchanger and heat pumping station right there. And then just, that's how you can get to the second one. So from here, okay, cool. One last thing, I just got to grade the terrain in the area in case I ever want to build something here. Guys, I'm pretty sure this will work, and if not, you guys can all laugh at me later. Oh. Does one pipe have the capacity to supply it? 10,594 gallons an hour, and it's 10,594 gallons for the heat exchanger. Each block of these, Sneaky, is 1,000 gallons. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. There's not a chance in hell that the shopping center and the police station and all the other municipal buildings are going to overcome a deficit of 6,000 gallons, right? There's not a chance. That should be more than enough for the this entire block. And then, when we need to, I just put another heat exchanger right here. We connect the line in, or we just make it on another, put it in on another pumping station. Now, does that pumping station need electricity? It does. Which brings me to the last thing that we need. We need electricity. But that is a good spot for the heating plant. Oh crap, that's not the final position for it. I placed it in a prototype position. Balls. Which means the work that I did on that stupid line is gonna need to be redone. That was just a temporary spot. I was just checking to see if it works. It would actually probably be better to be lined up right here. Or, best case would be Dude, if I put it right here, we might be able to go directly to the exchanger. Nah, there's no way. Yeah, 1,000 meters. Yeah, no way. Still a good idea, though. Okay, I'll meet it in the middle. I'll put my heat exchanger. The heat plant needs to be right here. I'm gonna mirror it. So we do aggregate storage on the right, road access on the left. Let me check what's my distance between these. Okay. That's the position that we want. Right there. Cool. I moved it slightly this way so we can shorten the distance. That's why I said that was a prototype, because I picked over there because that was the absolute, like, worst case. You know? Should be able to weasel it in here. It's gonna have to go back a little bit because my power lines need to cross, or I could make the power lines go behind it. Let's think about it. It needs aggregate storage. Paul, more to the left? Yeah, it's a little more to the right. I mean, ideally, dude, lining it up with that road would be good. I'd be a little bit worried about my power lines, but... You know what? Screw it. Do what it does. That's the ideal position, because then I could heat both of these things with one heating plant. A little more to the right. No, I'm not trying to place it next to existing. It can have its own, and we could belt another line from coal aggregate, or we could just split off the line that's going to the power plant. I built in the provisions to do that. That's why this is here. I don't know, should we run a dedicated line for it? That one's wrong, by the way. I just said I built a dedicated one. I put in the wrong dang thing. We'll plan for both tee-off of the power plant belt first, simplified, and then add its own belt if more supply is needed. Okay. That's a good idea. swear if the fence is what was causing the thing to have problems. Things still being planned out? Yeah, of course. How goes the city planning? Good, good. Just gotta run that stupid thing all the way over there, dude. Alright, so that road needs to be right. That'll work. Okay, I'm thinking here. I would like to do an array build just because makes sense. Might as well. It's a good idea. But if we're doing an array build, the road has to go around the front, doesn't it? It needs to go this way. That actually worked. I don't know why, but it worked. I don't know why. That corner looks terrible. Cutting it close to the dang tracks, huh? Jeez. Okay, I got an idea. To make this look cool. We switch it to a right-of-way for the road right here. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of that. And now that looks like I have a little manifold area for the heat, all the heat pipes to go out, which is where they go out, which looks cool. Alright, so now, alright, what we can do is we take this thing, we run it that direction instead. But, right there, give us a road. Okay, now we have the merger into, or no, merge. Now we put an aggregate storage here. Right, that's how I did it. So it's merge, road, 2 grid spots off, aggregate storage. Okay, cool. Cool beans. So that means a road needs to be right there. Now we put our aggregate storage. I don't want to use that. How close was the road to the aggregate storage in the scalable array? It's right next to it. Okay, cool. This is only just, like, so I can stockpile more coal, guys. That's the whole idea. There's the splitter. Then I don't know. Well, the granite supply is right there, right? So they're gravel. Sitting on a 50 right there. And if we belt that thing out, the belts would be going that way. Let's just put that there, right? And then that's gonna need belts going this way. Oh gosh, we're gonna have to cross them. Unless I can move this one more grid spot over. I don't know how this game deals with that. So, I want a buffer here. And this is initial viability, right? That's initial. Same with over here. You build one. Just build one storage. You don't need to build all 3. Just build one. And then initially we truck to this, fill that thing up, right? And then when you're building out coal, right, you build it to here, and then you can truck from here to there instead of importing, right? And then when you have the money, you connect it all, and then you don't need to use trucks no more. I know it just took the time to make that stupid road look good, but... Now the reason why I wanted to do... Yeah, that's not gonna look... That doesn't work exactly how I want. Reason I wanted to do this so I can take the coal belt and we can move the belts around. And then we could use this for gravel ore and then send the gravel that way. No hospital. I have a hospital. Okay. Is that wind from Starbase? It is from Starbase, yes. Now I don't have to worry about the belts crossing each other. I was just going to have it go out here and over, but this will work. Okay, so now we need to redo our power lines. Nope, that's going right into where I want my scalable aggregate storage. That's great. Circles! Rectangles! It looks like this one can only be scaled to that amount. You gotta give them one space. So I have this frontage road right there. If we got rid of that, that's triple aggregate right there. There we go. And that's enough for all the scaling paraphernalia. Now that leaves my power lines. How do we... No. Really? Two minutes for Dragon Capsule release. No? 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 Not at all. You guys need to time zone better. Oh, crap. Wait, what? No. No, 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 no. Oh, it somehow started building the stupid building? Assigned farm? That's broken. I don't know how far back my save is. Can't save that. The autosave was 35 past, so it was 2 minutes ago. Are you going to be covering the Starlink launch here in a few? Why wouldn't I be? If it coincides with my stream time, dude, yeah. It's the ones that don't coincide with the stream time that you gotta be like, you might not do it. I don't know where to route these freaking power lines. You know what? I got another solution. Hold on. I don't have another solution. The only other thing I could think of is going around the heat plant and then running next to the tracks. Why are you like this, workers? Stop it. Stop it. All I'm trying to do is make you happy. Wait, do I even have room for 2 power? I don't have room for 2 power lines over there. All right, nix the aggregate. It can scale to 2. That's it. I don't care. That's fine. If it comes back to bite me, so be it. Or so be it, I guess. Actually, that last one, I gotta redo it. It needs to be aligned on a grid to make this look right. There we go. Of course. Okay, guess we can't do that either. That gives us enough for double aggregate. Can make the roads work, everything works. Double aggregate storage. And then that should give me enough for a parking lot there. Starlink is in 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I know. We are good. Put down my markers. I like putting these granite slabs or gravel slabs down that mark the power poles. Are you gonna do any more Hunt the Streamer? I've seen the guys on the Discord playing 5M. Maybe, dude. Maybe, Rudy. I don't know, dude. Maybe one day, dude. I always put a service road with the lines. You don't have to. I just think it looks neat. All right, now where do we want our substations to be? The heating plant only really gets used if the temperature falls too low. Dude, so yeah. I guess it's seasonal, so to speak. I kind of want it running all year round because sometimes it gets cold at night. Depends on the temperature. Depends on the climate. It depends on what map you do. Excuse me. All right, that's gonna start the granite. Cool. That's the provisions for granite right there. And then we could put granite over here, but that would mean we would have to be back to working on our aggregate loading area. Lines are hanging a little low to the highway, jeez. Hi, do you know there is a Starlink today? Yeah, so? Alright. I'm pissed. I didn't finish the electrical. I wanted to get electrical figured out, but we got heating figured out. I got the start of water. I didn't finish it. So much space stuff. I'm not making the progress on this that I want. Can you believe that? Am I going to cover the Starlink launch? Yeah. Guys, just general rule of thumb, if it coincides with streaming time and it's a SpaceX launch, sure, absolutely. Heck, most launches will cover here during streaming time. It's the ones that aren't during my regular hours that those get a little strange. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. What do we got? Part 18 for Yakograd Republic. It's not going to take much more. Probably by the end of the week, I'd say we'll pause. Yeah, we got heat figured out with its aggregate, with its belt hookup. I have to do the water and the sewage and then finish the electrical grid. And then we'll start figuring out what we want to make first. Oh, I got to do clothing too. We got to do textiles. That's not going to take too long. Sweet. He battled, yeah. Right. That's it, man. Oh, jeez. That's it, dude. Yeah. Falcon is a monster. It's so good that it's boring. Timberborn next play. Next week. Next week, can't see me. Yep. Sorry for breaking you. No, you didn't pie the 6 people that asked me about Starlink launches before you within 5 seconds of each other. Before your comment did. It seems like there's a bunch of people that just clicked on the stream and just asked that question right straight out, which is fine. I have no real indication that I'm going to cover it. How are you guys going to know other than asking me? All right, so we'll jog the VOD, and I will start. We'll just rope this into the Crew 10 on Crew 9 splashdown. Actually, that's 4:45, right? Coverage for that. Hang on. Coverage begins at 4:45. Huh. How should we do this? I'll probably take a break after that. How much time between them? About, I mean, Starlink's going to take about 15 minutes. Yeah, I'll just take a second after. Guys, I'm going to shut the YouTube VOD for now. Well, actually, no. See, how are we going to do this? Untangling this mess between figuring out like proper YouTube VODs and not is quite annoying. I'm starting to think that jogging the VOD isn't really worth it. Are you going to play Satisfactory one day and finish the Halo project? Yep. At some point. I'm trying to think how to cut up the YouTube VOD, you know? "15-minute video might be better for the algorithm." All right, cool. I'll be back in 1 second. YouTube, stand by for loss of signal.